Welcome everybody to our used automotive recyclers advisory board meeting. First we'll do roll call. Anna?
Chad Terramina, presiding officer.
Here.
Bruce Ormond.
Here.
Byron Farrell.
Here.
Colleen Thomas. Brian Burgess. We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, Anna. Next we'll do our approval of minutes from our September 9th, 2019 meeting. I'd like to do a vote and get approval.
I move that we approve the minutes from September 9th.
I second it.
Second on that. Approval on our September 19th meeting. Next we'll cover public comments. Any person wishing to address the advisory board should complete a public comment form and submit it to the advisory board support staff. Nothing. Okay. And those of you listening online will be sure to talk closer to the mic so you can hear us. All right, we'll dive right in. We'll get with the staff reports and the briefing from staff and discussion on the licensing division.
Good morning, board members. My name is Laura Hernandez with the licensing department. I submitted the licensing statistics for FY 2018 and fiscal year 2019. This is just a finalization of the numbers from the September board meeting that we had. Those were up through the fourth quarter, and this statistics just have complete for the fiscal year 2019. And also, for the employees, again, it shows that as of July 22nd, we stopped processing due to the deregulation of the employee applications and renewals. And if you have any questions about these numbers, I'd be happy to talk to them.
Was there something else that was going to alert our industry, email-wise, or any more alerts for the employee license?
We did send an email out to all employees that had the UAPR employee license. We sent emails, we actually, and also sent letters. And I believe there was also a listserv email notification, like a notification blast that everybody that was registered on our listserv. But there hasn't been anything since July 22nd that we sent out since then.
Gotcha.
Are y'all receiving many from employees that haven't?
We haven't received any inquiries. We haven't received any applications or renewals.
All right, great.
That's a good thing.
I think they're aware.
I think they were pretty happy about that.
I don't think we have anything else. I appreciate it.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll go into the customer service division.
Good morning, advisory board members. My name is Tuan Nguyen. I'm one of the customer service managers for this program. Since the last time we met, stats has been very similar. It increased a little bit for September, and people are still calling about the same thing. License status, checking on just like where's my renewal, how's my new app doing, and then of course if we receive their documentation, and then the other portion is the site navigation. And other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have for me.
Nope. All good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next will be our enforcement division.
Good morning. I'm Tony Reed. We handed out the statistics for the last 2 fiscal years, which is really nothing new since we met so recently. There have been no cases that have gone anywhere since September or since before September. So there's no new cases to report.
Okay.
I can take questions.
Since the last time we met in September is what you're talking about, right?
Pardon?
Since the last time we met?
Yes.
Okay. I think I asked this before. Refresh us on the complaints for enforcement. It's all based on complaints only. Is that right?
Complaints and I believe there are some inspections.
Periodic inspections. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Anything else?
Good.
All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next will be our regulatory program management division. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning. I'm Todd Forrester with the RPM Division. Essentially, we're still working on the communication efforts for the proposed change to the rules. Once those go into effect, we will update something on the website, and more than likely, I'll get with the communication team to send out another listserv, just so everyone is made aware. We did have a meeting with Sunset, and we included information over auto parts recyclers, as well as my other two programs, towing and VSF. It was just a basic overview of the program now as it stands, and we look forward to working with them more in this process. Any questions?
On the sunset review, would that be something made available to us, documentation-wise, or?
Mike Harris-Menes. Mr. Chairman, the sunset review is a process that we're currently undertaking, and in that process, the industry will have the opportunity to be able to make comments concerning their particular industry to sunset through public meetings, through comments that can be submitted online. So there will be ample opportunity for that to happen.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Next will be our field inspections divisions.
I have a question for, excuse me, I apologize. You said Sunset Commission will contact us as industry for our input, is that correct?
They will be reaching out to various associations, various industries, to be able to provide the opportunity for you to make comments.
Okay, all right.
And it's actually, Anna just mentioned to me, which is correct. If you go to our website, at the front page of our website, there is a link for you to be able to go, and it will actually provide you the information concerning Sunset Review right now.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Guthrow, the Director of Field Inspections. Could you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our report starts with the most common violations that are found during the inspections in the fourth quarter of FY 2019. And as you can see, we just have 5 here. So those are the most common ones. The repeat ones, if we have a single one-off, we usually don't list them here.
Okay.
Next, we have personnel updates, and since it's been a while since you guys met, you can see there's just been all sorts of activity in field inspections, including we've moved from 3 regions to 4. We want to say congratulations to our Central Region Manager, Juan Munez, who was promoted from one of our liaison positions. We've also been able to have a designation of an Inspector Inspector 5 position. So that adds for a growth opportunity for some of the inspectors who are on board with us. We've also hired a Central Region Liaison who is promoted from one of the inspectors. That's Angela Sanders. And you can see we've designated all of the people who are promoted to Inspector 5s, and we've hired a couple of external folks to help round out that Inspector 5 position. Next, we have our field inspection statistics for FY 2019 and FY 2020. Y'all have any questions?
The statistics, the September you have 40 for 2020. What are those numbers? Where are they derived from?
Well, we have our inspectors who go out and perform inspections from, what we have is a route optimization program that tells them, hey, it's time to go out and do these inspections. And so once they do those, they enter that information into the licensing database so we can keep track of the completed inspections, any violations, and, that's how we determine who needs to be inspected next.
You mentioned zones. Does that mean, like, for instance, Houston will have field inspectors from Houston, or will that be just kind of territorial?
When I mentioned the route optimization program, is that what you're talking about? That is a system that basically divides the state up into 9 areas because we have so much work, including, UAPRs, but also all the other types of inspections that we do. So within those regions, all of the work is entered into an algorithm that then is designated to all the different inspectors within those areas. So it's kind of like that, yeah. Yeah.
Got you.
Anything else?
Anything, guys?
This may go back to enforcement here. I noticed the title required as part of the common violations there.
Right.
I'm just curious, are they just not able to provide a title at all, or?
Well,
And I know, when they didn't have inspected our place, they'll come in and they'll select several vehicles that we have to show proof of purchase and
Exactly.
titling and everything. What happens if, I guess my curiosity is, if this person's got 2 or 3 cars with no titles or something, what happens at that point?
yeah, an inspector would write a violation, and that would be a serious enough violation that would require them then to write a report that is submitted to the enforcement division.
Okay.
And then a prosecutor would review the information and then try to make a determination as to what needs to happen next.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Next will be our executive office.
Chairman, board members, thank you for your service, for being here today. I appreciate it. I know that does not go unnoticed, and I want you to know that we appreciate you taking the time to come out for this particular the board, and also for your time spent. Real quick update. Again, my name is Mike Uris-Mendez. I'm the Deputy Executive Director for the agency. Just a couple of things. My counterpart, Carla James, has retired. She submitted her retirement notice, and November 1st was her last day, although she showed up for the commission meeting a couple of days later, but she was here. And so she's officially has submitted her retirement, and she's gone. We have hired 2 new deputy executive directors, and they will begin their duties beginning December 1. So we look forward to having them on board, and they're actually from the agency, so they could bring a lot of wealth and experience with them. So we're looking forward to have them on board. We mentioned earlier about sunset, and I do want to provide a little bit more context to that. There will be surveys submitted. The plan is to submit surveys to all of our license holders that we have in our listserv. So the plan is for all of the license holders. Again, we'll reach out also to other associations, but they will receive a survey from Sunset that will allow you the opportunity to be able to provide feedback on how TDLR submits their business and how it works with the industry. So be on the lookout for that also. As we mentioned, we're in the process of Sunset. We've had some really good meetings with them. The month of October was filled with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like 17 meetings in the month of October with Sunset. So it's very good ability for us to take a real deep dive look into our agency, which we have done, and we continue to do that. So we'll have more to come in the future about our Sunset meeting. Other than that, we had our ledge session, and I believe in your last meeting you probably received an update on that, and I don't have anything else from executive unless you have any questions for me. I'd be more than happy to answer.
No. Appreciate it,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Charles, all yours. Mark, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Mark Gladney, General Counsel's Office. Good morning, board members. I'm here to proceed on basically our next phase of rulemaking, and that is to ask for a recommendation for adoption to the Commission on the rule package that we presented to you at the last meeting in September on the proposed amendments to the existing rules in 16 Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 87, specifically Rules 8715, 8744, 45, and 47, and the proposed repeal of existing rules in 8724, 25, 26, and 8746. The rule package was necessary to implement changes by the legislature at the last session in House Bill 2847 and Article 15. The changes brought about by that legislation, the rules amend Chapter 20, the rules amend the Chapter 87 by repealing the license requirement and fees for employees working at UAPR facilities, repealing the provisions related to risk-based inspections and fees for repeat violators under Chapter 2309 of the Occupations Code, and increasing the periodic inspection time to every 4 years. It used to be 2 years. We basically put these rules out for public comment after you approved publication at the last meeting. The rules were published in the October 4th issue of the Texas Register. The deadline for public comments was November 4th. We received no comments on the proposed rule package. The department's recommendation is to recommend adoption of the rule package as proposed. And we have a recommended effective date of the rules for January 15th of 2020. So right now, what we're asking for is the advisory board to give us a motion to recommend adoption of the rule package as presented to the commission when they meet next.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, good.
All good.
I move that we adopt the changes as proposed.
I second that.
I support it.
Yeah. That's all I have, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Is there anything else on the executive office before we go to recommendations? Is that it?
Chairman, yes, there was a couple of things that I failed to miss. I'm sorry, that I missed. I failed to provide. On your statistics, what we do is we're able to have, through our web administrator, he can provide us information about how many times the website is hit, and particularly with the used auto parts recycler webpage. And for the past 6 months, there have been 4,442 views on your website concerning used auto parts recyclers, which is about an average of 26 a day. Of that, 52% accessed it from a desktop, 46 did so from a smartphone, and 2% did from a tablet. The top reasons for visiting the site, the number one reason to visit is frequently asked questions. The number 2 reason is for administrative rules. The number 3 are forums. And then, of course, the number 4 is just used auto parts recyclers law. And then the number 5 reason is people want to know who's on the advisory board. So they go out and take a look at that. So those are the reasons that they visit the website, and that's what we have that have happened in the last 6 months. And my apologies for not providing that to you.
No, you're good.
Great information.
Yeah, our picture's on there now, so it's even better.
Yes.
Yours is not, though. Our picture's on the website now.
Oh, is that right?
I missed that. Okay, is that all? That was it?
That's all I have, yes, sir.
All right, we'll move towards our recommendations and agenda items for our next board meeting.
Mary Winston, TDLR. As you know, you've had your second look or bite at the rules post-comment. You voted for them to go forward to the commission. We have internal timelines, and I believe the effective date was given of January 15th. So at this time, we don't have anything on our plates as far as work product for the advisory board at this time. But as always, during the interim, we're going to get Anna to poll you guys. We don't anticipate a meeting probably before February, and I'm saying this off the top of my head because I know we're pretty booked up in January. And since it's not pressing, we will reach out to you well in advance of that for dates. And as always, if there's any information or anything you want to put on the agenda that goes for the public as well, just send an email to advisory.boards@tdlr.texas.gov. So, and that's about it. But we will be in contact. Plenty of time, but have a comfortable holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all as well.
Well, we appreciate you guys as well, especially following up since September's so short. It's a good thing to revisit and make sure we're right before the adoption of this. And we obviously love it and love the things you guys are doing, so we really appreciate you guys. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend at our Texas Automotive Recyclers Convention, or if you guys have a booth, I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, thank you for everything. We appreciate everything. Hope everybody has a good holiday, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.